Welcome to Conversational Currency Live. Conversational Currency Live is your fastest growing talk show, which focuses on the value and importance of social skills for business in a digital era told through the lens of today's business and thought leaders. I am your moderator, Shad Didi Laser, for a special broadcast today as we focus on going inside the inner workings of the Global Veterans Summit, which will be taking place on Saturday, November 7th, 2020. And we have two of our featured experts today on the panel to discuss the event, to discuss what they'll be sharing with the audience, and to give you an insight on the life, the journey, the transition of today's veterans and entrepreneurship and some of the challenges of balancing the two. So we'll start with Yashika, please, and then we'll move over. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business, your journey.
Hello, all. I'm Yashika Foster. I am a 25-year Army vet. Currently, I am serving in the role as CEO and founder of One More Step, which is a veteran transition coaching for veterans transitioning from the military to the civilian sector. I have a little slogan that says, while they're learning to live structured in an unstructured world. And so my program is based around helping us to get around our mindset so that we can, become the person that we wanted to be, or the person that we're meant to be outside of the walls of the military.
And on to you, Miss McFall.
Yes, my name is Shadonna Mo McFall, and I am the founder and CEO of Mo's Heroes, a nonprofit to help homeless veterans get back on their feet and for service members not to become homeless veterans. And I also have a small little boutique marketing, media, and public relations business called the Mo You Know. That's the one I will be focused on Saturday. So I am really excited about that because so many people get out and to Yashika's point, we're structured. And it's like, okay, guys, we can breathe, we can relax. We're this uniform is off. We can really be us now. So that's where I am now. So and I thank you for putting this together for us. I'm really excited. Anytime I get to have adult conversation, I'm all for it. So yes, let's do this.
Absolutely. Now, ladies, you both have, let's say, service-based businesses. So you're able to look at, let's say, a client, a candidate, and pull out the genius, whether it's in transition or whether it's in PR as well, or through your nonprofit. What do you see in terms of when you're looking at your ideal client that makes you say that is the right person in order to perform that transformation? Starting with you, Yashika.
For me, I see myself in someone else. When I first got out in 2016, when I retired in 2016, they tell you while you're in, make sure you have your finances up to par, make sure your education is squared away, make sure you know where you're going to live at. They tell you all these things, right? The ones who get out before us, they make sure that that they tell you those things. Have this together, have that together, have that together. Some of them even tell you to get a job. But once I transitioned, even though all those things were squared away, there was this part of me where when the lights went out at night and when the house was peaceful and quiet, there were these thoughts and all these voices that I started hearing. Listen, I don't want y'all to think I'm crazy. So I wasn't literally hearing voices, right? But it was that part, that voice in my head that was making me doubt everything that I was doing. You know what I mean? And so the more and more I started to understand what I was going through, I decided to talk to some of my best friends who had got out, retired before I did. And these people were close to me, my ex-husband, a guy friend of mine, my best friend. These people all got out before I did. So when I started talking to them about what I was going through, I asked the question, I said, were you feeling this way as well? It was at that time that all of them started to tell me that they went through the same things. And then when I started to recall the conversation that I had with each of them leading up to this point, I realized that they were going through that, but no one ever said it out loud exactly what it was. So I took my little notebook and everything, and I went to the VA hospital one day, and I just sat in there and I started talking to vets. And I wanted to understand what was it about that little voice in our head, or that part of us that I don't think we really necessarily get it from a therapist chair, right? Some of us do, some of us don't, or we might need that in addition to, right? It's not something you get from your best friend or your spouse or whoever. It was something else that I needed. And so for me to figure out what that was for me, that sent me on a journey to talking to more people. And then next thing I know, veteran transition was birthed. Me being a veteran transition coach was birthed.
And on to you, Shadana.
Yes, so I actually started Mo's Heroes while I was still on active duty in 2013. So I was an administrative professional. So it was always my job to get the right people, the right information at the right time to make the right decisions. So I was living in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I would see all of these veterans, all of these homeless veterans. And I'm like, why are y'all homeless? And at first I said, well, America must not be doing all of the things that we need to do. Like this is a problem. But what I didn't realize then, because I wasn't on the outside yet, that there are so many resources that people either A, don't know about, or B, they know about it and there's something in the back of their mind saying, hey, I can't tell nobody that I'm having these issues. Hey, I don't want to go through the process of getting my VA benefits. It's something in them that's stopping them from doing what I don't even want to say should do, what they could do, because I'm like, hey guys, these are your benefits. These are the things that you need to do. These are the things that you've earned. So a lot of my ideal clients on that side of it, they find me, like I said, through word of mouth or through social media, because somebody has told them, hey, you need to talk to Mo, you need to get your stuff, and then when I talked to them, they were like, yeah, such and such has already told me that, we're like, why haven't you done it? Like, what's the problem? And the other thing that I find with my Mo's Heroes clients is sometimes, in all transparency, I can tell them something and you can tell them the same thing and they'll take it from you, or they'll take it from a colonel, or they'll take it from anybody but me. And like I said, I done read the book. I done went to the website. I done walked the walk. I done did the thing, but they still won't take it from me for whatever reason. And I used to get really mad and upset and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, well, this is the right information. I don't know what else to tell you now. Like I researched it, we're good, but if they don't take it, then they don't take it. So
excellent perspectives, ladies. Now, starting with you, Shadana, what skill sets and preparation would you say that your time in the military, your experience, did to prepare you for this wild world of entrepreneurship?
Oh, that is a good one. And I tell people all the time, like I just told y'all, I was admin, information manager. It was always my job to get the right people, the right information at the right time. So that piece of it, being on task, hey, this is the deadline. Hey, we got to meet this. So people hated me, and not didn't really help me, but they hated that I was poking. I'm poking and I'm still poking because guys, we have deadlines to meet. It's not just about you. It's like, okay, if this is the thing that you say you want to do, this is the steps that you got to take. And it's other people, it's a lot of moving parts and you got to do your part. So being, and I try not to be so dress, but when it comes down to be dress, and hey, you got my stuff, that follow up, hey, this is hey, you got 30 minutes for my stuff. So I think that is the biggest piece for me right now, is staying on task, even though it's hard. People, they love it, but they hate it at the same time because they know it's necessary. But then it's like making them accountable, and not everybody loves accountability. So that accountability piece is my heart right now.
Yes, Yashika.
You say what job prepared me for entrepreneurship? I will tell you probably every last one of them. I spent my first 15 years as an enlisted soldier, and while I was also enlisted, I did the squad leader thing, the platoon sergeant, and then I went drill sergeant. After I was on a trail for like 3 or 4 years, I decided to submit my OCS packet and went OCS. And so I came in as a commissioned officer, and as a lieutenant, it was one of those things where, you know, you hear the stories about when you are a lieutenant, that's the forgiven rank. Like, you know, lieutenants are comparable to privates, right? Yeah, I said it out loud, right? Because they're new in the Army, right? Or new in the military, they don't really know much. But then it's a different lieutenant that you are when you are a lieutenant with yet a drill sergeant patch on your right chest, right? They're like, okay, you're a lieutenant, but you're not. So we need you to know just enough, but not too much, right? And so I had to learn how to walk that fine line, you know, because I didn't want to, I knew I wasn't enlisted anymore. So I had to learn really quick that the soldiers didn't tell me as much as they used to. When I was enlisted, I can go over to the smoking section or whatever, where everybody go, and I can find out all the latest gossip or whatever was going on, I could find out from the soldiers. Well, when I became a lieutenant, they didn't tell me that anymore. But then at the same time, because I was a lieutenant, the colonels and them, they didn't want to talk to me because I was like a private to the officers, right? So I had my own little lane that I had to walk down, right? And so I say that to say this world over here forced me to find out. This world over here forced me to establish relationships with those soldiers to say, okay, although she's an officer now, we still trust her in a sense that she was enlisted for 15 years, right? And then that officer over there, they're like, okay, well, she knows enough because she was in the military prior. So we can trust her with enough information, but we don't want to give her too much. So now I got to go and find out what they know. Right. So that made me be able to do both of them. And I think entrepreneur world is the same way, no matter what level of entrepreneurship that we go in, because, you know, there's your beginning and then, you know, and it's not necessarily aligned with how much you make. It just should be simply how long you've been in the world, how long you've been, you know, owning your own business. Every day you learn a little bit something more. When someone tells you something, you go find out what that means. You go find out what that means. And so I think that my whole career, all 25 years, prepared me for my right now, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Now, let's talk about mentors for a moment. In our journey, there's always going to be people who open the doors for us to help us walk through that path to success. Who was the person either before or after your transition that helped you to realize that the lady entrepreneur that you are is possible to achieve and attain? Starting with you, Shadana.
Oh, that is loaded, because when I tell you I had so many mentors and coaches and consultants and, you know, just work with everybody. So it's so many people, and I cannot just name one because I will be doing somebody a disservice, because I work with so many people and I don't want to just start naming people and somebody will be like, well, I did that for you too. You know how you just don't, just like you don't want to say who your favorite auntie or your favorite, you know, so I don't really want to go there. But I will say to all of the coaches and consultants and the people who have poured into me, you know, I say thank you. I say thank you because, you know, everybody did something to change the trajectory of where I am now. And like I said, if I start naming names, I'll forget somebody and it'll be all bad. So they know who they are. But there was a lot of people. The person that you see right now, a lot of people poured into me, a lot of people. So. And I'm sorry if I don't drop names, but like I said, I do not want to drop names and forget a name.
I love that answer, Shadana, and I'm so glad you went first. I'm so glad you went first. So I'm going to borrow that from her, Shadid.
And Yashika, you know, we have some of the same mutual friends, mutual coaches, mutual consultants. Right. It's just like, and that's what I will tell people. When you get out, to have that coach, have that consultant, because in the military, you always had that supervisor. You always had somebody, that commander, that first sergeant looking out for you. And when you don't have that, when you transition, that's kind of how you fall through the cracks. Yeah, that's what I've seen in my personal experience. So get you a mentor, get you a coach, get you a consultant, get you somebody that's going to hold you accountable, because that's what we're used to.
And I'm going to say this also, something that I heard again this week when I went to a conference. And I know you guys have probably heard it before, but one thing I will say to those out there who's watching this, if you do not have a mentor, right, it's okay for pay for one as well. It's okay to pay for one as well, right? So you don't have to, it's not like, I think that this is a little different being in the civilian world when it comes to mentors, because when you're in the military, they kind of want you to stay with those who are either, on your journey or who have, paved that way for you. They try to make you stay in your, rank class or whatever, just whatever. In the civilian world, it's not like that. You just, if you need a mentor in this area or that area, you go get you one. You can't always get that person for free, right? You may have to pay for them. But it's okay when you're an entrepreneur to pay for a mentor.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, the people that I have invested my monies with, it's paid off. It is definitely paid off, because like Yashika, we had a conversation a couple of months ago and we were just like, oh my God, this isn't working. So from that, like I said, I hired, more coaches, more consultants, and I did the work. So it ain't even about the mentor. There's plenty of people that you can work with, but if you're not willing to do the work, you're just wasting your money. So it don't matter who you work with if you're not going to do the work, and if you're not going to listen to that mentor and do the things that they tell you to do because they've already done it.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna name a name. Everyone else is, hey, we can talk about it later offline, but I gave this thought through the answers that you shared, and it's a bit of a different look at it, in that my uncle Reggie, Reginald V. Haynes, to be specific, when I joined the military, I was a wayward child, and my uncle and I had no idea that I was going to join. It was more so to escape a certain lifestyle, or did not want to end up like many of the kids that I grew up around. But he was the person who showed me the ropes and said, listen, if you at some point you're going to have to take accountability for your life. So how does this have to do with, let's say, later on getting out the military? Here's the thing, is that joining the Navy was one of the best decisions that I made of my life. But as with any opportunity, if you don't see it or you can't take advantage of it, then it goes right over your head. What he was able to do was say, to prepare me for what was to come up. So once I got there, it's like, okay, this is the game that I have to play in order to get the most out of it. And I was able to excel and realize that, okay, I came, I saw, and I have the trophy. Now I can move on to bigger challenges. But if it didn't start with my uncle saying, okay, take accountability for your life, and if you're going to make this decision, I'm going to help you learn the ropes, then I would have gotten and blew the whole opportunity, as we've seen many of our fellow soldiers or service members do. Maybe they didn't have that guidance. And I just want to salute my uncle for giving me the guidance, the ropes, and just thinking about it. I said, if I wasn't able to see the opportunity for what it was, the whole rest of my career as an entrepreneur may not have happened to the level it was, because that's where I first was able to see opportunities and be able to assess them and say, okay, this is how I can take advantage of it, versus this is not for me. So always important to acknowledge the people along the way who help you in your journey, for sure.
Absolutely. And, I do shout my folks out a lot. I have done articles, but I will, I am going to shout my Uncle Duck out. My Uncle Duck and my Aunt Zena, because like I said, those two, I come from a military family, but every time they would come home on leave, I thought, it's supposed to be a party all the time. It was always fun. And, everybody had a nice car. So they kind of set me up for failure in a bad way, but they had me thinking that the military was something that it really was. I thought the military was glitz and glam, and baby, that was not. They didn't show me the other side.
They didn't show you that private pay, huh? They didn't show you what privates really make, huh?
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, listen, they was already off base and married. They didn't show me dorm life. They didn't show me all
I missed that
they
whole
didn't show me
part.
the real military. They
Yes.
showed me leave military. So I went in with the
Right.
mindset, like, hey, this is where the party is.
Yeah. They didn't show you all that. They didn't show you that. They didn't show you that getting up early in the morning and all that. They didn't show you that.
No,
Yeah.
no, you missed that whole part. Yes, so those of you who are tuning in, you are here at Conversational Currency, the Global Veterans Summit Edition, and we are here with our two shining examples of vets in entrepreneurship who will be delivering sessions this Saturday, November 7th. Starting with you, Yashika, please take us into your talk for Saturday. What can we expect? What's going on? And then we'll go over to Shadana to do the same thing.
Well, my talk on Saturday will start with at 1:00. I'll be in the afternoon, and mine is focused around mindset, right? I believe that a lot of us are, especially when we get out. And I say this because there is a difference, and I don't care, and I don't care who's out there watching. The person that you are when you get out, moving forward 2 or 3 years down the line, you are a different person. You are a different person. Like I said, I thought I had all my stuff together until one day I realized I didn't, right? Because I thought I was going to pull all my hair out. You know what I mean? And I look at that, and I look at my I would say, I would say post today self. So the person I was after June the 1st or June the 30th of 2016 till today are two different people. And so the area that I'm going to focus on the 7th at my talk at 1300 or 1:00 for you civilians out there is how to get out of your own way and master your brilliance. And again, this is taking it from the mindset portion, because I believe that no matter what we do in terms of business, or even if we want to go and work for someone else, whatever, if this ain't right, none else is going to come together. And so I definitely want to talk about that. And I'll be covering 5 areas to help you to get out of your own way and master your brilliance.
And Shadana, tell us what your session on Saturday will feature.
Yes, absolutely. So most of my friends, they know me as Mo. So I have built a whole brand around the Mo, being myself. Everything is Mo, 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 Mo. So I will be talking about building your personal brand and being selfish, making it all about you. Because one of the things that's Chad told me when I was getting ready to transition during the whole, transitional period was you have to be selfish. And that's, the military. And I was in the Air Force, they told us service before self. And when we get out and when we start doing our business and all of those things, and we have kids and we kind of lose us. So I want to reel it back in and be like, okay, guys, it is okay to put yourself first. It is okay to put your gas mask on first. It is okay to take care of you and your business first, because guess what? Everybody else is doing it too. So, a lot of us be out here in our feelings. Oh, they did me like this and they did me like that. And yeah, they did. But you know what? Because they know to take care of them. They know to get theirs. So, just making sure that we know how to, like I said, self-promote and put ourselves first, put our businesses first.
Absolutely.
And I will be speaking at 10:20 a.m. So right after Christy, shout out to Christy, the host of the conference. So I am like I guess I'm y'all's opener. I guess I'm opening up, getting everybody hyped, 10:20 in the morning. A lot of folks ain't even going to be up that early, but if you are up that early, like I said, I'm a 7-year-old, so we're normally up doing the things. So don't be mad like, why is she out? Yeah, that's me, 7 o'clock, 10:20 in the morning, ready to go.
Yes.
I'll be there on that with you, Shadana. I'll be with you. I'll be with you, girl.
Okay. Like I said, Saturday, people are like, I see you about 12, girl. Let me know. I'll watch the replay.
Yes. And if you tune in at 11:40 a.m., I will be speaking on how to sell your brain, how to package your knowledge, skills, and ability, and create digital assets in order to escape the time for money trap. I will share with you the true story of how a young man transferred from Japan and began packaging his brain, his experience into ebooks and audiobooks and blog posts, and began to build a content catalog that liberated him from the time for money cycle. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a current entrepreneur, if you are a senior professional, if you are on active duty, you want to tune into this because you have your experiences. You can take a term paper and turn it into a ebook that solves the problem for someone who's going down the same journey. So at 11:40, we will walk through, no question goes unanswered, all based on a true story, only at the Global Veterans Summit, Saturday, November 7th. Now, in wrapping things up, please share your website, social media profiles where we can learn more about you ladies. Starting with you, Yashika.
So you can find me on Facebook at Life as a Veteran. I'm there, as well as on YouTube, Life as a Veteran. My website is www.onemore-step.com. On LinkedIn, I am Yashika Foster. On Twitter and IG, I am Coach Shika. And also, I'm dropping in the comments the downloadable that they can receive. So if they want to, while we're going along in the thing on Saturday or in the summit on Saturday, they can go along. They can register now and get this free downloadable.
Perfect. And Shadana.
Yes, so I am the Mo 214 on all social media. My government name is Shadana McFall, and that's how you can find me on LinkedIn. And if you go to www.themousknow.info, I have a cute little checklist that you can download that will help you if you're planning on getting more media and more speaking engagements. And, if you want more people to know you globally, because I tell people my job is to make sure that people that need you know you. So, if you're thinking about starting a business and, hey, I want to do more speaking, I want more media, and I want more this or more that, I'm your girl. So the www.themousknow.info.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we've done is given you the VIP, the behind the scenes access at the upcoming Global Veterans Summit, which will take place on Saturday, November 7th. And if you go to bit.ly/Global Veterans with an S Summit, that is bit.ly Global Veterans Summit, you will be able to register for the event, which will take place featuring our speakers on the panel, as well as many others. The transition into entrepreneurship, there is no blueprint, there is no roadmap, as there's many different skill sets and experiences and mindset that goes into it. And what we have attempted to do was give you a glimpse inside of that. But the sessions, the presentations on Saturday is where you get to meet the speakers up close and personal. So your next step is to go to bit.ly/Global Veterans Summit and register. Once again, on behalf of Yashika Foster and Shadana McFall, I am Shadidi Laser. You could have been anywhere in the world, but guess what? You were here with us. And for that, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday.